A bride pretended to be orphaned in order to keep her mother out of her wedding. But in the end, she came to regret her actions as life taught her a vital lesson. Before we continue, please take some time to subscribe to Dailydose, like and share this video with your friends. It might brighten their day and inspire them to do good. Also keep watching because an important lesson awaits at the end of the video. Jill was the only child in her family, and she was only 4 years old when her father abandoned her. Her mother Anne raised her on her own from then on, working on a small farm during the week and part-time jobs on weekends to ensure she never missed out on anything. But when little Jill became a teenager, she began to look down upon her mother. "Mom," she cried as they were about to leave for her annual school function. "Don't you have anything else to wear? If you wear that, my friends will mock me. It looks old." "But honey, this gown is only a year old. It's also one of my favorites," Anne explained. "Mom, you've worn it so many times. Please change it right away. I don't want to be embarrassed in front of everyone." Anne's eyes welled up at the sight of her 13-year-old daughter mocking her like that, but she didn't say anything because she thought Jill was still a child and didn't mean it. She went inside, changed into another dress, and then went to Jill's school. When Jill turned 18, she moved from Brownsville to Houston, partly for studies and partly to get rid of her poor mother, and she rarely called her then. Later, at university, she met a wealthy man named Bobby. He proposed to her in a month, and she was overjoyed. She had always wanted to be rich, and her dream was now just a step away. Jill never told Bobby anything about her family. In fact, she lied by telling him she was orphaned at a young age and raised in foster care. As a result, when she was preparing the wedding guest list, excluding her poor, dirty mother was an easy task. The wedding was organized to be held in one of the most exquisite halls in New York, and Jill couldn't contain her excitement, thinking Anne wouldn't be attending it. However, fate had other plans. Anne decided to pay Jill a surprise visit just 2 days before the wedding. She drove nearly 6 hours to see her daughter, but Jill was not home. She waited on the front porch for her daughter to return, and when she did, she was taken aback to see her carrying a wedding gown. "Whose wedding gown is that, Jill?" Anne inquired. Jill took a deep breath, and Anne noticed the fear in her eyes at one point. "Oh, Mom, this is my friend Gina's dress. Come inside. I'll make you some tea," she said quickly, avoiding Anne's gaze, and went inside. Perplexed by her daughter's sweet tone, which Anne hadn't heard in years, she could sense she was hiding something. "But honey, why are you carrying Gina's dress around? Are you going as well? In that case, let's go shopping for you." "Oh no, no need for that, Mom," Jill said, setting a kettle on the stove. "I have a few dresses, and I think I'll wear one of them." "Ah, yes, I see. So when exactly is the wedding?" "It's next week, Mom," Jill lied. "Anyway, the tea is ready. Would you mind getting me some cookies from the box on the kitchen shelf?" "Of course, honey," Anne said and rose from the sofa to proceed towards the kitchen. But just then, she noticed Jill's phone screen flashing with a message notification from a contact named Love. "The wedding guest list is nearly complete, honey. But I really wish someone from your side was present to help. You must be missing your parents right now, aren't you?" it said. Out of curiosity, Anne tapped on the message, and to her surprise, it opened up. Jill's phone didn't have a lock. Anne's eyes welled up as she read the whole message. She found out Jill was getting married and decided not to invite her. When Jill saw Anne with her phone, she panicked and dashed towards her. "Mom, I don't like when someone touches my phone. Give it here." "Is there anything else you don't like, honey?" Anne spoke tearfully. "Are you so ashamed of me that you lied about being an orphan and chose not to tell me about your wedding?" "Okay, Mom, you don't need to create a scene. It's just that it's a small ceremony with only a few close friends, which is why I didn't call you." 200 people. Do you have so many close friends, Jill? For God's sake, stop lying. You're getting married. It's not a small event. I'm your mother, and you didn't even bother to tell me about it. See, that's the problem with you, Mom. You always want things to be how you want them. But that's my wedding. If I don't want to invite someone, I won't. That's it. All right, honey. I had no idea you despised me so much. But tell me one thing, is it because you're embarrassed by me? Okay, Mom. Enough. See, my fiancé is a rich guy. Everyone attending the wedding will be from the elite class. If they see someone like you, a filthy, shabbily dressed woman entering the hall, do you think he'll like it? Obviously not. So please, for my sake, don't create a scene and forget everything we spoke about, okay? There's no wedding, nothing. Deeply hurt by Jill's words, Anne quickly grabbed her bag and left the house. However, when Jill's wedding day approached, Anne couldn't contain her desire to see her daughter in her wedding dress. She opened Facebook and began scrolling through Jill's account, hoping to catch a glimpse of her daughter in the wedding dress she'd seen on the day of their unpleasant encounter. However, when she checked Jill's account, she discovered that the wedding had to be postponed. Sorry for the inconvenience. Guys, the post said, we're going to have to postpone the wedding due to issues with the wedding cake. Please DM me if you know anyone who can assist us. Despite her daughter's mistreatment, Anne stayed up all night baking a cake for Jill. Then she sent it to her house the next day with a note attached. Honey, I hope you enjoy the wedding cake. I couldn't replicate the design I saw on your Facebook page, but I did my best. With love, Mom. After sending the cake that day, Anne was expecting that Jill would at the very least send her a thank you letter. But that didn't happen. 2 days later, though, Anne was awakened by the doorbell. When she answered the door, she saw Jill and Bobby standing at the doorstep. Jill was dressed in her wedding dress, and Bobby appeared to be more handsome than the picture of him in a suit she'd seen on Jill's phone. Get ready quickly, Mom. Jill said as she handed her a brand new dress. We're going to be late for the wedding. I apologize for being so careless and selfish. When you sent the lovely cake, we decided to get married at the church in an intimate ceremony. But then I thought I should proudly introduce everyone to the mother who nurtured me and made me the woman I am today. Sorry, it took some time to invite everyone and redo the arrangements. I love you, Mom. Please come with us to the wedding. It's incomplete without you. Yes, Mrs. Matthews, Bobby added, had Jill told me about you before, I would never have allowed her to do something so idiotic as not invite you. We're sorry for what we did. Please come with us. Anne couldn't stop crying as she hugged Bobby and Anne. She later joined them for the wedding, and Jill learned a valuable lesson that day. One should never look down upon others who aren't as well off as them.